Greetings, planty people, and welcome back to my jungle. Oh, that was a new one. Oh, so I thought it was about time I finally do a Hoya collection. Now, I held fire for a little bit because I was still kind of accumulating them and I was just kind of waiting for the right moment. And now looking at all of them in front of me, what the hell, when did this happen? Oh, I had a few for quite a while, but my lovely friend Lottie, she was like, I'm gonna send you loads of Hoya, and now I have the Hoya bug and it's very addictive, I must say. Now, I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of Hoya. I'm looking at you, Alina, soz. And that's totally fine, not everyone's into them. I didn't think I'd ever get into them, but here I am, surrounded by Hoya. So can I get a Hoya? Okay, so as we have quite a few, I'm just gonna go straight into it. And I think I'm gonna start with the oldest one I have. She is thirsty, so please don't judge me. I've been very busy recently, so I haven't been on top of watering all of my plants. Ta-da! So here we have my very ratty looking Hoya Bella. So I got it as a rescue from a garden centre and it was looking abysmal. Absolutely abysmal, and I mean it kind of is now. It was already in this hanging basket, but I think it was reduced because it was quite a thirsty plant, and that's what I found so far. As you can see here, this is what an underwatered Hoya looks like. They kind of shrivel up a little bit, and so I'm going to give this one a water as soon as I can. Now, this is a really good Hoya to get, one because it's super cheap and easy to find, but also it flowers every year for me and they smell so good. It's like the most light floral, like it's not a sickly floral, it's a very light perfume almost. And Lottie told me that you can actually lick the sap that comes out of them, and I'll talk more about them when I get to more of my other Hoya, but the sap on this one just tastes like sugar. Nothing fancy, but yeah, I think it's super cool. And I think there is a culture, I can't remember where in the world it is, but they actually use the sap from Hoya blooms and flowers as medicine. So that's super cool. Might need to do some more research into that. I like kind of sciencey things about plants. But yeah, this one, well, all of these I keep downstairs because that's where it's brighter. I don't get the best direct light here. So all of these are in direct light, and they get a water every like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, depending on how cool or warm it is. So yeah, if you want a Hoya that flowers every year, get yourself this one. And I'm on the hunt to find a variegated one. Maybe to just add amongst here because she's bold. I'm definitely gonna have to chop this up and give it a bit of a makeover. Okay, so my second oldest Hoya, ta-da! So this is a Hoya Crinkle 8. And I've had this one for quite a while now. It was literally like 3 leaves. You'll notice that Hoya are very slow growers, so I'll probably be saying, I've had this for a while, it's not that big, blah, 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 blah. But this one, speaking of flowers, is something very exciting this year, and it did bloom. This is like the end, I should probably chop that off. Here's a little photo of it. Now this one, it had such an interesting smell to it. It was like chocolate orange, but minty. I know that sounds really gross, but it made the whole room smell like it, and I licked the sap and it tasted like chocolate. Don't worry, it's not toxic, it's fine, but what the hell? It was super exciting. I just kept going there like, never thought I'd be licking and smelling a plant, but you know, stuff happens. But the reason why it's called Crinkle 8 is because it has 8 little crinkles in it, sometimes even more actually. But yeah, this is one of those ones not everyone's a big fan of because it's a little bit kind of chaotic looking, but I like it and I think it's really cool, and it's quite rigid as opposed to the Bella, which is a little less rigid. I don't think this one's too awkward to find. Super easy, low maintenance, slow grower, but low maintenance. Okay, so my third oldest Hoya, ta-da! So this is quite a common one. I feel like everyone knows about this one. So this is the Hoya kerey. So it's the one with the really rigid, solid heart-shaped leaves. And I got this one as a cutting actually, surprisingly. I didn't actually think it would, is it gonna flower again? Oh my God, it might be flowering again soon. Yeah, so I got these a long time ago. This is the slowest plant I think I actually have. I think this is like 4 years old and this is how big it is. I'm in love with it though because each leaf is heart-shaped, and can you see that it is slightly splash variegated, very slightly, which is a nice little surprise. This one flowered as well. Here's a photo. The sap on this one was a bit more like maple syrup, kind of that kind of molasses brown sugar smell and taste actually. So yeah, beautiful sap. If you want a flowering one, it's only flowered for me once. If you want one to taste like maple syrup, get one of those. But it's beautiful. I want this to grow really long and grow on a heart-shaped trellis because, you know, heart shape, super cute. So speaking of blooms, I think that might be a peduncle. Also, that is my favourite plant word I've learned, peduncle. It's just a silly word. I've heard that if you keep them quite root bound, they're more likely to flower, so maybe that's what it is. Shall we have a look? There's a little bit of a root, but I wouldn't say it's root bound. Then again, you don't know what's going behind closed soil. I don't know the rest of the order of when I got everything, but I'll kind of just show you what I've got anyway. I've still got loads more to come, so don't you worry. So next one, so this is actually a combination of a Hoya, Crimson Queen and Princess. So we've got the one with the white variegation on the ends, and then we've got the ones with the yellow variegation in the middle. Sometimes it goes a little bit more pinky, which is a nice little surprise. Usually when it's sun stressed, but because it's winter, I haven't really had enough sun to make them kind of blush with pinkness. But yeah, I thought I'd add them together to save room, because they're like basically the same but opposite. I thought it was kind of cool. Nothing really much to say about this one. It's just kind of there, super low maintenance. Have it hanging by the window. Very nice. Okay, next one. Makes a lot of sound. So this is the Pupa Calyx. I believe, I've been told it might not be, but who knows. This one is another one. It lives next door to my Crimson Princess / Queen. Nothing really much to say about this one, but it's pretty. It's got that kind of light splash variegation on it. I like its kind of elongated leaves. I think it's super cool and pretty. It's got really long tendrils. They're kind of growing up there. Do you see that? I haven't got this one to flower. I've only had the first 3 be able to flower, so we'll see what this year brings with the other ones. But I really like this one. It's just nice and simple. I've propagated it a few times, roots really easily, so if you want just a nice kind of plain, easy one, get yourself one of these, and it looks really cool when it hangs. Bit of ASMR for you. Next one's a bit higgledy-piggledy, you're going to have to bear with me. Looks like a question mark. What am I? So this is a Hoya Carosa rope. So I believe it's similar to the Hoya Crinkle 8. Very similar leaf shape. You see the crinkles in it. The only thing with this one, it's so prone to mealybugs, so I'm constantly spraying it down with like diluted alcohol or bug spray. But this summer, when I got it, it was there. That's where the stick is. It's just gone mental. I've just kind of left it to go wherever it wants, really. Yeah, I really want to get the variegated one where it's got the kind of light green on it. That's so distracting. I'm going to hold it. So the length of it is about just under a foot, I would say. And we've got another lovely little bit coming off there. Look at that shine, look at that shine. So it's absolutely gorgeous. I really like it. Not everyone's cup of tea, but it's my tea with 2 sugars. Next one is the Hoya Pupa Calyx Hawaiian Purple. Let me see if I can find a purple leaf. Do you see that purpleness? In the summer, it goes like a burgundy and it's mint. It's absolutely mint. So I got this at the Birmingham plant swap. I just thought, you know what? I want another one. Actually, is there See, it says Hoya Pupa Calyx Splash, but Lottie let me know that it was the Hawaiian it was the Hawaiian Purple. What is wrong with my mouth today? And I've got it on a trellis that I also got in my goodie bag at the plant swap, so that's super fun because it was just kind of growing everywhere and I don't have a lot of room for things to grow everywhere. So I love this one. If you want a more of a burgundy, if you're into your spookier, colourful plants, maybe get yourself one of these. Nothing much to say about this one. It hasn't grown loads, but we'll see what the summer brings because I only got it in March. I do really like this though. I think it's really pretty. And the good thing with Hoya, you can tell when they're thirsty. They don't require a lot of water. I think they're considered semi-succulent, so I keep them in a really kind of almost gritty soil like a succulent, and I only water them when they're bendy. So I'll see if I can show you. Do you see that bend? That means it's almost thirsty, and when they start to shrivel, that's when you know she's thirsty. You don't want to overwater a Hoya. I've done it in the past. and it just melted. So bright light, minimal water, and you'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so next two, they're like brother and sister. So these are both Cronana. So this is the splash one, and I like this one. Do you see those kind of lines in it? They've got little abs, and I really like that. I just like the texture of them, and I like how little these tiny little leaves are when they come out. I like the sheen as well that they have. So I got these both, I'll show you the next one in a second. I got them both from my garden centre and they weren't looking too hot, which is why they're still a little bit bald in some areas and stuff, but I've kind of let it do its thing. I think it was overwatered and it's bounced back. I've got backup cuttings just in case. That's my little tip for you. Have backup cuttings because you never know. Really like this one. I'm a really big fan. It's just gorgeous. I've run out of adjectives at this point. I just really like it. I just really like it. But the one I like more, wow, look at that one. So this is also Cronana. I think it's like the silver glory or something, but I'll show you up close. It's not splash variegated, it's just straight up kind of minty green, and I like this one a lot more. And I'm trying to grow up this trellis here and it seems to be liking it. And I've noticed a lot of new growth as well. This one, oh, it's falling over. This one was also overwatered at the garden centre, so I gave it a big fat chop. Bright light, minimal water, bish bash bosh, Bob's your uncle. So love this one. If you're into your minty plants like I am at the moment, get yourself this one. I think it's absolutely stunning. And I have them living together like this, and I think it's really pretty. They almost look a little bit like ivy growing up a wall in a castle. Love it. Here for the whimsy. The last ones, I've got a few loads of little babbies. These are all from Lottie. Lottie sent me a whole bunch of cuttings and I'm excited to show you. So first off, the classic Matilde. I have been trying so hard to remember all these names because I'm still quite new to Hoya. All these names I've had to like double check on Google, so if I'm wrong, please let me know. I'm still learning, but here we are. So this is the Matilde and it's the splash one. Now I really like this because it just looks like leaves. It doesn't particularly look like a Hoya, but when you feel it and you look up close, it does. Oh, I thought that was scale then, but it was just like a little water spot. I'm always looking for bugs, but I really like this one. So this was just like a 2-leaf cutting. It was really tiny and it's suddenly taken off and I absolutely adore her. Look at it, it's all shiny. I can't wait for this one to get really big. I wonder what all the flowers would look on each of these because they're all completely different. All Hoya flower from what I know. So yeah, I really like this one. I'm going to need to get it some support soon. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Next one, I'm not actually entirely sure what it is. Probably Pupa Calyx again, but more of a splash one. I can't remember if Lottie actually sent me this one or it was a cutting from something else, but I still really like it. This one was also a cutting, so it's taken its time, but there is some growth on the end there. I don't know where the hell I'm going to put all these when they get big. Ugh, I'm always looking for bugs, but it's always just dirt. It's only 3 leaves, but I can't wait for this one to get huge so I can have a big Hoya family display. I don't know what it is. If I looked back at these about 4 years ago, I'd go, yeah, they're pretty, but I wouldn't have them. And here we are. Oh, and I found another Matilde. So actually, I'm going to pop these together. Okay, so next one isn't looking too hot. Please don't judge me. I've been dealing with mealybugs. If you have a lot of Hoya, you've had mealybugs or lots of succulents. For some reason, they just love them and they hide in all the little creases and it's just ridiculous. So this one I had as a cutting also from Lottie and there is mealybugs on you still. Oh, I'm gonna have to treat this immediately. So this is the fishtail one and look at that. It's so bold. I'm so sorry. But it's got lots of healthy roots, so I'm just gonna have to soak this in some alcohol, dissolve all those mealybugs and hope for the best. If not, I'll have to chop this and start again. But I really want this one to work out because it's quite a different looking one to my other ones. It's like a little mermaid tail. Oh, please be fine. Hoyas can bounce back pretty quickly, just as long as they're not decimated with bugs. There's hope. Oh, we have 2 left, guys. Which one shall I show you? I'll show you this one. So this is an adorable little cutting. So this is the Serpens and I really want this one to grow because this is my favourite one Lottie has sent me because it's just like little beans, little buttons, and they have this kind of Velcro texture to them. I really like them. Hasn't done much, but I think it's grown a leaf, so that's good to know. The thing with propagating Hoya, they take so long, and it's a bit like, come on, I just want you to grow now, please. They're already slow growers. The one that propagates the quickest is the Bella. It's just such a gorgeous plant. Lottie's one is so beautiful. That is my absolute goal. I want it to grow as big as possible and just grow it everywhere. Just everywhere. Sorry, I can't stop stroking the leaf. It's so like hairy. And last but of course not least is my favourite one of all of them. And that's the Hoya Black Margin. Now I'm going to try and show you. Can you see its black margin? I apologise, I ran out of storage. That's why I'm in a different space. Anyway, so this one, like I just mentioned, it's getting there. It's growing a little bit slow. It did get a bit of heat burn. What's the word? You know what I mean? It got sunburn. Heat? That's different. It got sunburn in the summer when we had a heat wave, so I probably need to chop that one off. And I also have a lovely big tendril here, so we'll see what happens with that. Nothing much to report, apart from that it's my favourite. And I want this to be as big as possible. Let me know what your favourite Hoya is, or which ones I should add to my collection. I really want some more kind of unique looking ones. I feel like I've got all the common ones. Now I want some kind of different ones, if that makes any sense. Let me know what your suggestions are and if I got any of these wrong, because I probably did. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely day, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.